free the land on another great day of resistance. Today, I will be taking you to the Caribbean, South American country called Guyana, where on February 23rd, 1763, one of the greatest slave rebellions, slave uprisings, slave revolutions took place. Today, I will be honoring the great revolutionary freedom fighters, Cuffy, Akan, Akara, who led on this day 2,500 to 3,000 enslaved peoples and indigenous peoples up against the Dutch colonial empire, where they were trying to formulate and bring into existence a new African nation by any means necessary. Coffy, the great revolutionary freedom fighter and leader of the Berbice slave uprising, was a great Akan man from the west coast of Africa in the Gold Coast of Ghana. Coffy was a skilled, masterful military leader, trained in military combat and tactics. He would later be captured on the west coast of Africa and brought to the South American Caribbean nation of Ghana, which was the Dutch colony at the time, where he would become a new African proletariat enslaved inside the house of the plantation he was captured at and became a barrel maker. Over time, these brilliant enslaved peoples would start to formulate and organize the slave rebellion. Speaking several different languages, the Congolese, the Akan, and several other indigenous ethnic groups from West Africa and Central Africa, like Angolians and Igbo people who were enslaved in Guyana at the time, will organize food farms, supplies, and weapons and prepare for the day they will launch their attack against the plantations. One of those plantations was the main plantation called Magdalenenburg plantation, where on February 23rd, 1763, after skillful training and learning military strategies and things of that nature on the plantation, these Africans would launch one of the greatest slave rebellions in the history of slave resistance in the Western Hemisphere, putting in total work on the Dutch colony and the Dutch government. They would later have to call in the French and the British Empire to come in and quell the rebellion and slow down the rebellion that Cuffy and these great leaders would start to spark. They went through several plantations, burning down plantations, stealing weapons, stealing food, stealing supplies, organizing and formulating a new African nation government. These brave enslaved peoples put down such a precise strategic guerrilla warfare campaign against the Dutch Empire and the Dutch government that they had to call in 2 more European nation militaries from France and Britain to take down the rebellion. This rebellion would last for over 1 year, where in the spring of 1764, Coffy and other leaders of the rebellion and enslaved peoples were put down, captured, and later would be executed. But before we get to that point, we got to remember that Coffy labeled himself the governor of this new African government before it got took down. So on this day, I just want to send salutations to these great ancestors who put down one of the greatest slave revolutions and slave rebellions in South America. Long live the great revolutionary freedom fighters, Akan, Cuffy, Akari, and other enslaved peoples and indigenous peoples who participated in the rebellion. Long live the resistance, long live the revolution. Free the land by any means necessary.
Father of emancipation. Enslaved in the Dutch colony of Berbice, Cuffy fought for an independent African state in 1763. The revolutionaries, a mix of Akans, Angolans, Congolese, and Creoles who were born in the colony, headquartered at the Zeelandia and Hollandia plantations. Cuffy introduced a code of discipline to the fighters and trained them in warfare with the help of captured European mercenaries.